odd day. Sit with your least favorite cross. That's why we do that, just to switch it up every now and then. If you always sit in your favorite cross, the least favorite cross will never improve. If you're uneven on your least favorite cross, like I am, support the hanging leg. Get a good hold of your kneecaps. And two things, you can sort of feel how when you do that, you're kind of, it's not a very pretty word, but it's a word that works for me. And that is to feel like you're shoving your femurs back in towards the hip socket.
We only see you from the waist up.
Ah, thank you. Go back more. That's what I have to do. So my least favorite cross. And I go ahead and pull those thighs back, hold, and feel as though I'm shoving the femur back into the socket. I put that support there for that hanging leg. Let the groins be soft. Then I keep this idea, hamstring to buttock flesh, groin soft, and put my hands near my hips, and then give some assistance to the upper thoracic area and the lumbars to lift up. Look straight ahead, even just a little bit beyond your horizon. When you close your eyes, you tend to droop a little with the head. Fold your hands at your heart, close your eyes completely, and just take a moment to settle down mentally and bring your attention to the subject matter. With each inhalation, feel that vertical extension. With each exhalation, that horizontal expansion. And then join me or not, your choice. This is the inhalation. Oh. 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 Bow your heads, release your hands to your legs, and slowly lift the head up and open the eyes. Okay, I don't think Kathy, I didn't see Kathy. Oh, there she is. Yes, she is here. So both the Kathys might be the only one who remember this, but maybe I did it. I'm thinking back to Clear Spring Studio where I taught for many years, but there's a class that I would teach there on the more restorative pranayama type classes. And I used to call that Gita's way of warming up the body for pranayama, but I've modified it a little bit. And basically you do near 2 things of each category of poses, though I have added a couple of my own categories. So what Gita says about pranayama, she says you must be proficient in all areas of asana in order to proceed along to pranayama. So we're going to do basically 2 of everything. and see if we have any room left for pranayama. But if we only get to some simple ujjayi laying down, it will prepare your body for it, and then you could sign off on the class, and you could do some subsequent breath work on your own. So that's what we're going to do today. And the first one is, and you know, if you do not have a chair that folds like this, so I'll show, because I think it might just be only Laura who doesn't have that chair. So, you know, we've done this rolled blanket for Uttanasana. We've done that before. So you'll just do it with a rolled blanket. So this is your Uttanasana. So this is, if you don't have a, stand by those of you who have the chair. So this goes here. Eventually coming down, okay? Those of you who have the chair, what I like to do is put one sticky mat on that, across that chair bar. Put the roll, I think Kathy likes to do this. Kathy Lindauer likes to do this a lot. So I pull that chair bar up into that crease. Okay, I press my feet, I extend my toes, then I can pull myself down and put the head on the chair seat. Careful to not let the hips go backwards. So this is me, you know, incorrectly letting the hips go backwards. Let your trunk come down. Press those feet and broaden the back of your legs. If you can just manage the concave, just manage the concave. That's fine too. Have your roll, have some support. Let's see. Yeah. So keep looking forward, Mike, and have your mind in that line along your inner shoulder blades, and move the inner shoulder blades deep in to you. Yeah, the idea with the roll, Laura, is that smaller people need a bigger roll, bigger people need a smaller roll. So you might need to make the roll a little fatter so it stays a little wider, thicker. Yeah, Chaya, that looks really nice. Marcia, doesn't it, do you guys have the chair bar in there? Can you feel what it does for you? Is it nice? Feels good? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can kind of pull that chair bar up into that hip crease, and that'll help you release the abdomen, release the rest of the trunk down. So the top of the buttock, Laura, can you see yourself in your little camera at all? So the top of your very buttock, where your buttock meets just above the sacrum, right here. Can you see where I'm pointing? Just above the sacrum. That should feel like it's coming towards your head side, not back, like it's going backwards towards your foot side or your heel side. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, that's it. But straighten those knees. Don't let your knees bend. Go a little wider if you're stiff. You know, those of you who know this, you always can take the feet a little wider, especially it being the first pose. Okay. All right, now I know I'm always going to run out of time. Take that same chair, put it at the wall. Take your first downward dog. So now you guys, if I'm here, you know this is concave Uttanasana. So you see where my feet are. So I'm going to go way back, push the chair away from me. Fan out those fingers, get some opening in those shoulders and armpits. Push, push, bring the chest closer to the legs. Chair dog. So you're still in chair uttanasana, Mike. Walk your feet way back, way back. Keep your hips up, walk. Now push that chair. Press the tops of the thighs back. Turn the backs of the thighs out. Eventually you try to get those heels down. Everybody should be able to get their heels down in a chair dog. In a regular dog, you know, it's harder. So Chaya, you're still in, you're still in Uttanasana. Now it's chair dog. So you walk your feet way back. I've got a strap there at the top of the thighs and I'm standing behind you. And I pull back. Nice, Marsha. Very nice. Okay. Then you get rid of your chair. Come on to all fours and take your first real downward dog. So to do that, I come forward and I start pressing back. Remember, we did this last week and I said, okay, you're not in any hurry to straighten those knees. So I push away, I tuck the toes and I keep pushing. Never does the chest come forward, but chest goes back, back, back. Then I straighten my legs. Turn those outer upper arms in. Turn your biceps and triceps. Outside in. Okay, that's your first downward dog. Okay, now try straightening the legs without the chest coming away from those legs. Resist the tendency to move your hands. Press those thighs. Kneecaps firm. You know, Lois Steinberg out of Champaign, Urbana, Illinois. I took a few classes, well, more than a few, but I was there once for a weekend workshop, and she says, what are firm kneecaps? Think about it. How can you make your kneecaps firm? The only way you can make them firm is to use the thigh muscles. Use those thigh muscles, lift them up away from the kneecap and press the thighs back. Okay. Now come up. Put your chair like you see me here. It's in front of me. And I'm going to take this mat and I'm going to put it like that. So can you see what I've done? It's basically padding this front chair bar. Okay, now you take a strap. Here, I'll redo it so you can see how I've done that. I've got a big loop in my strap. I take it over that front chair bar, go through it, and so then it's on there, but it slides easily. Straddle your chair, turn the feet out nice and wide. Then use your hands to intelligize the skin on your upper leg, your thigh. It comes back towards the buttock flesh and broaden the back of your thigh. So here I am sitting nice and tall, holding onto that chair leg. I'm already getting some nice opening in the groins. If I push this down, it doesn't matter, but so that you guys can see this opening, this wideness in the groin. Okay, now I'll do the opposite side. Well, I'll do the opposite side. So you're turning to your right, I'll turn to the left. So you've got your strap on the left side of your chair. It's right there. Okay, and it's reaching over that left leg. So start your turning, lean forward, grab your strap with the opposite hand. Okay, and now come back and use that front arm to turn and to uplift, to extend your spine upwards and roll that right shoulder back. Look over your right shoulder even. Okay, so you're not turning from your hips. Your hips are staying locked in position, and you turn more from your waist and extend the spine upward. Should feel good. Oh. Okay, and then back to the front. Change your strap over to the other side. Lean forward, reach your left hand behind, grab the strap on the right side of your chair, and come up. You've got that arm really locked, and then hold across that chair bar. Pull. So you're really pulling with the strap that the back hand is on and the top chair bar with the front hand. And turn. This is for the sacrum. This is for the lower back, Kathy L. Do you feel that? Yes. Turn, 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 lift up. Extension upward of the spine on the inhalation. Turn more, twist more on the exhalation. All right, let's do it one more time because I think some of you just got it. So quicker time. Switch your strap. Lean forward, reach across, turn. If you can, and it's your second time and things are going better, can you straighten your back arm and pull that strap away from the back body? Broaden that right collarbone. Feel how the right shoulder blade moves into the back more. Both of them do, but of course you feel it more on that arm that's back. All right, and then release. Switch the strap. Lean forward, catch. And turn. So I don't know if you could see much from the first time I said, if you've been there for a while, then you can straighten that back arm. Pull that strap kind of downward as the spine goes upward. Oh. Lots of space. Create space in that lower left back side. Sacrum, where your waist is. Create space there. All right. Then release. Come out of your chair. Put your chair at the wall like yay. Have two bricks and an extra sticky mat. Actually, if you only have one sticky mat, then you don't really need it on your chair. You need it under your standing leg foot. This is for Kathy and Mike, still Kathy Lindau, Utthita Mrityasana. So I put 2 bricks. I've got a little, ancient piece of an old, this is my very first sticky mat from who knows how many years ago. And I put that in between the 2 bricks. Yeah. So remember I said a quarter round is a good purchase if you're adding to your toys. Here's my quarter round, and I'm putting that to have my heel up on that. However, if I didn't have that, I could use a folded blanket like this. You just want, It must be that the heel is higher. So here I am. This is the preparatory part of the pose. Utthita Mrityasana. I'm going to go ahead and use that higher height. So your left foot is up on the brick, your right hip is at the wall with about, a couple inches away from the wall. Because what you're doing, I'm showing you this side so you can really see, I'm turning towards the wall. I reach up with my left hand, take it in between the wall and the right thigh, and then turn. Sacrum in, tailbone tucked in to the body. And turn. You can reach the right arm out even and broaden across the chest. Utthita Mrityasana. The standing leg must be directly underneath you. And Laura, you probably just need one brick. I'm tall.
Are you turning from the hip?
Yeah, your right hip
Could
is
you
at the wall.
demonstrate it again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
It's not a problem. So I'm turning. Let's see.
Sheryl, is your
I'm here. My hips are squared. I'm not turning from the hip. I'm turning more from the pelvis and the waist, but my right hip is staying on the wall.
Okay, thank you.
And your standing leg must be directly underneath your hip. That's what I was saying to Mike, that it was a little bit further back. Everybody else is, yeah, that looks all good. But the standing leg, Laura, the problem is the standing leg is the bent knee. Sorry, the bent knee is at the wall, is what I'm trying to say. Your bent knee, let me see. Let me show you this way. Maybe this is better. From behind. Not close enough to the wall. Here we go. Is that better? So the bent knee, Mrityasana, folded leg is at the wall. And that hip stays at the wall. And I turn my waist, I turn my rib cage, I turn my chest. And then maybe this hand reaches out, can press on the wall to help you turn more and to lift up more. All right, change sides. Utthita Mrityasana. It's going to be very helpful for the next pose. So now, for most of you, the left hip will be at the wall, or if you're doing the other side, fine. Make sure that the standing leg foot is right underneath your hip socket. So that's, you might step up, Laura, your standing foot a couple inches, an inch or two. Might become closer to the chair. Could be closer to the chair. Yeah, you might have to bring your pad, whatever you're standing on there. Yeah, and now you turn towards the wall. Turn towards the wall. Yeah, don't swivel your hips though. Push that that bent knee hip into the wall, plug it in, and don't let your standing leg thigh bulge forward. Press it back. Press it back and turn. Chin up, chin up. You can even reach back there, Mike, and find your C7 and try to move it into the body. Yeah. Yeah, if you need to feel it, that's fine. Not to let the standing leg come forward. Okay. All right, come out and watch carefully. There's a couple different ways to do this, but I was working on it this morning and I decided you guys could handle this. All right, so I'm going to change this to go across the chair, something like that. Okay, I'm going to put one blanket just for some extra softness there. This is called a groin opener or a hip opener. I guess I'm going to show you my left leg. I don't care what side you do first, but I'm just going to show you this. So you're going to put the front leg shin across the chair and have that leg turned out. Okay. And I'm going to step that one back. So you may have done this for preparation for Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, but it gets easier. So you're here. Okay, then watch. So then I'm going to take that bottom leg down. And I want the front thigh to turn out, and get the bottom knee butted right up against that chair. Okay, now I hold here and I lift up. I plug that tailbone in and under. Then here's your real work. Almost everybody is there, or people are still watching. So watch. So now I start to come forward. You can dive. You can dive. Excuse me. There I am. I've got my forearms crossed and just letting that hip open. Now, if this is too much, you stay here and you let this, the leg that's up on the chair, that hip roll out. This foot is relaxed, it's not doing anything. And you can just do something like this even. I even feel it here. Anybody have any questions? She likes it. Chai is happy. It's
Okay.
Just,
I'm
you
pretty
got it,
sure.
Laura?
No, this is Karen Carpenter. I'm
Oh,
pretty
hey, Karen.
sure. I'm pretty sure, and that's not even gonna. I'm not even gonna be able to get my thigh in my right thigh, which I have trouble with, in position. So I need like.
Here you go. Here's the
big
modification. I was just waiting for that. So you have to build this up, Karen, to your height.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same leg. I don't want you to fall over, so you might even be sideways on your wall. But you'll take up this leg, and can you just put it across the chair like that?
Okay, let me check.
You build up the height that you need. This is definitely
Okay,
the
I don't even need to build up height. I can't do it. I can't.
Okay.
I cannot do that hip. I can't put my foot up that high.
All right. So you would just work in Vrikshasana. Just work in Vrikshasana.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Everybody else, get up, change sides. So the other thing the other way that we could do it is on the floor, but I just was like, well, then we're on the floor and then we got to get back up again. So here I am. I'm going to go this way. Cross the leg over. First, I can just work on this part. This part's good, where I just work on straightening that back leg. Ooh. Okay, then I come down. tighter side, this is enough for me. It's helping me turn that thigh out. Get a nice opening in the hip. If I stay a while, can I go through the chair? Oh. Okay. So you get the idea. But this is called, what I was showing Karen, guys, is called standing Janu Shirshasana. And it's also very, very helpful for that groin area. And you just get that foot up there. And just there. You know where else you can do this is on your countertops. Great place to do it. Okay, so that got you ready. Put your chair on your right side. Place your left heel at the wall. And my chair seat is facing the camera and it's on my right side. My left heel's at the wall. Come down and I place the left elbow on the chair. Right hand on the chair seat. And turn into Parivrtta Trikonasana. Maybe that arm comes up. Could everybody see that? Let's go this way. Imagine my heel's still at the wall, but this hand crosses over. This hand is helping me turn, and then eventually turn the back body, turn the back ribs by pushing down firmly with that opposite arm on the chair. Okay, Parivrtta Trikonasana. Top arm up if you can manage that. So Chaya, you're just doing regular triangle, aren't you? So if you've got you had the right leg forward. You had the right leg forward. Left leg back at the wall or wherever. And you cross over, opposite arm to the chair, and then turn. I think you were just doing regular triangle pose. There you are. Yeah. Turn the ribs. Yeah. Head back, Sopo. Head back. Yeah. And if the arm, doesn't go up so much, just work on the turning of the ribs and the chest. Laura, can you get your elbow to the chair? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay, now keep your hips squared and now turn from your waist. Turn your ribs, head back. Head back. Just put your top arm on your top waist and roll that top shoulder back. Yeah, that's nice. All right, second side. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Put your chair on the left. Right heel into the wall to give you some stability. Left leg forward. Bend forward like you were taking Parsvottanasana. Cross your right elbow along the chair seat. And you wait there. Then the left hand can come to the chair seat and it's like you're steering your chest on around. And then the top arm can come up, maybe.
Is it okay for the back heel to come up?
If you've got the wall, just keep trying to press it to the wall. Don't purposely take it up, Sopo. Just keep pressing it to the wall. The legs do have to be very strong in this pose. Yeah, same thing. Mike, your right leg is forward, and yeah, it doesn't look like you're doing much of a twist to me. Yeah, I should be seeing your back with your left leg forward. Something is wrong. You see where you're just, if your right leg is forward, you just look like you're doing this to me, Mike. You're just doing this, right? I want this. Make sense? So it's the Parivita version. The chair is on the same side that you're turning to. So see how your chair is on the opposite side, that your chair should be on the other side. But okay, we digress. One more standing twist. So you're going to get to use a lot of support. Let's see. Got to go away from the wall a little bit. So I'm standing on my left leg. My right leg is at the wall, and I'm turning the trunk in the direction of the standing leg. And look at how comfy my head and neck is. Parivita Ardha Chandrasana. So I've padded this with a sticky mat and a chair. And if it's too difficult, just repeat the previous pose. So I'm here, I bend down, I find the chair with the right hand, I take the left leg up the wall. I'm standing on the right leg as if you were doing Parivritta Trikonasana. The front leg is the right leg first. Did I do that wrong? Yeah. Said that wrong. And then I turn. The opposite side. Sorry, guys. How you doing? Rita Ardha Chandrasana. Yeah. So the right leg is plugged into the wall, and you're turning your trunk. Whatever, some of you have different legs. So that looks really good, Mike. You know, Mike's standing on his left leg, right leg is at the wall, and he's turning. I'm sorry?
Is this a twist or are we turning?
It is a twist. You're turning in the direction of the standing leg. If you have your left leg forward, you're turning to the left, and the right leg is plugged at the wall.
Would you please do it again? Thank you.
Mhm. So my right leg is up. To really work on this back thigh. You have to turn from inside out, this twisted leg. Turn, turn, turn. You can put your hand on your sacrum, and your sacrum should be flat to the ceiling. Okay, other side. You're standing on your right leg, or some of you are now. Left leg is up. I extend that whole left side. My neck is very comfortable in that crease. Plug that heel. Turn the inside edge of that back thigh from inside out. Turn your trunk. Drive that standing foot into the wall. Karen Carpenter, are you okay? Yeah. Nice. Kathy, you gave
Yes,
up on
yes,
the,
I'm fine.
you're okay. And Kathy, you gave up on this head support. The head and neck support, Marcia, isn't it wonderful? Yeah. All right. Come on down to your mats. Have 2 bricks nearby. We're going to go from, well, the first time we're not going to get to use the bricks, so just have them off your mat. We're going to go from Adho Mukha Svanasana to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. I'm going to show you how I'd like for you to do it. And if you would rather have the bricks, you may take the bricks. Just 2 times. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, and now let me show you the modification if this is hard. So the modification is to come down onto your knees first and then come down, straighten those arms. You can stay on your knees. This is the modification. Or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward, you can flop the toes, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Remember, you have the option of having the knees down, but it's that hamstring to buttock connection. That hamstring has to pull up to the buttock bones to protect your lower back. So please do that for me, those of you who suffer from any chronic lower back connection. And here, I come forward, I change the feet, flip them over, pull that hamstring to buttock connection, roll the shoulders back, push the chest as if it's going through your arms. It is. And then switch back. So you can stay 2 or 3 breaths in each pose and 2 times through. Roll the shoulders back, press your hands down, lift yourself up. Thoracic spine into your body, shoulder blades into your back, shoulders back. Mike, shoulders back. Don't worry about looking up, just look straight ahead. And come down. Any questions, Soko? You did it through twice. Okay. Okay, just lie down. Make a little pillow for your forehead. Pick up one leg and roll. So I'm picking it up and I'm kind of letting the skin of the front of the leg roll in so the back of the thigh rolls out. Do that again. Check and see. Do you like that broadness of the back of the thigh? Is it nice and broad? And then the top of the waist moves away from the body, tailbone down. Okay, bring your hands out in front of your head. We did this on Friday. This is the beginner's version of Bhujangasana. So my hands are in front of my heel of my hand right in front of my forehead. Inhale, keep that buttock hamstring connection, and then push yourself up. Bhujangasana. Your thighs are working. They're lifting up off the floor. The toes can press down to help you lift your thighs more. And pull yourself up, shoulders down. Just look straight ahead. Nice long torso. And then come back down. We're just going to do this 2 times. So the second time you find your favorite hand position between here
and the chest. This is for advanced. I might be somewhere here where the heel of my hand is in line with my jawline. So I energize the legs, I roll the front thighs in, the back thighs out. Inhale, and then I push up. How we doing? Yeah. It's like the skin of your palm is kind of pulling backwards and your chest is pulling forward. Shoulders away from your ears though, Mike. Shoulders away from your ears. Okay, good. Okay, last back bend. You have a wall or you have a chair. Which should I show first? How many of you have walls? Only Marcia doesn't have a wall. All right. So let me show real quick this way. So I've got extra padding here for my shins. I'm actually pushing my pubic plate, my pelvis into the wall, but first I'm going to use my hands to pull that skin up. You can see I'm really using my hands and I'm pulling the skin of the pubic plate up, the pelvis up. Now I hit back with my shins. So my shins are going backwards. And I just want you to take a beginning Ustrasana. So hamstring to buttock, firm, 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 pulled up, arms up. Inhale. Can you do it 3 times? If that's all you get, that's all you get. Well, I'll tell you in a second. Go ahead, do those 3. So it's about going up with the pelvis, up with the chest, the rib cage, the chest, and just never letting the thighs leave the wall, never letting the pubis leave the wall. Thighs, somebody is back there pushing your thighs into the wall. Yeah, and Kathy Beckman, you're listing a lot to, it might just be your camera. Yeah, you're listing to the right a little bit too much. Yeah, okay. All right, now I'm gonna give myself a little help because it's that type of class today. I'm gonna put my bolster across my calves. I'm gonna put it all the way into my thighs. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this thing again with my hands to pull that skin up the wall. Then I'm going to reach up, go back, switch the hands, press the hands down, pull the hamstring and buttock connection up firmly. If you take one hand off, feel that working to protect your lower back. Press the hands down, broaden the chest. Okay, your turn. Remember to extend upwards so much that you can't go up anymore. Head up too, Mike, head up, look up. And now reach over. Your mind is in the bottom of your shoulder blades. Move the bottom of your shoulder blades in. And then if your arms are almost parallel to the floor, take them out to the side and reach for your bolster. Never letting the thighs or the pubic plate leave the wall. Push the hands down. Thighs forward, hamstring to buttock connection firm. Broaden across the collarbones. A little bit more. Your thighs look great, Mike. It's that thoracic spine. Move it in and lift your chest. It's like you're rolling your nipple band up and over towards the collarbones. Yeah, if you want to have a break and have one more go at it. If you're done, you're done. We're going to take Supta Virasana next. Yeah, so if your thighs are burning, your front thighs are burning, you're not using the back of your thighs properly. Yeah, you have to pull up from the crease of the knees up towards the buttock flesh. Yeah, keep your hand, yeah, I was gonna say, you could keep your hands on that buttock crease and see that they're working. Press down on your bolster to lift your chest more. So that's the beauty of, when you have this pose really, really well, your hands press down into your feet, and it's like, it's another prop. You're providing yourself an internal prop. Okay, now I know everybody is different with Supta Virasana. If you need a bolster, take a bolster. If you do not need a bolster, you don't have to have one. So with the bolster, it's here. I love it if you could belt yourself. So here we go. So I'm going to belt around my shins, ankles, and top thigh area. Snug. Okay. And then I'm going to go back onto my bolster, pick up my tailbone and my lower back, move it forward, and then head on extra support. So if your Supta Virasana is not flat like this one, you are allowed, I don't know how much help you need, but you could even take a block and put a block underneath your sacrum and move that brick forward to take the sacrum forward. So this is an option as well. And if it's too much, I think I showed that on Friday for somebody, if it's too much on the stretch of the front of the thigh, really what Supta Virasana does is open here, this area between where I have the strap and the pelvis. It opens all this area, the front of the pelvis. But if it's too much, you can always put extra height underneath your knees. And when you first get into the pose, stretch the arms overhead, reach the arms overhead to lengthen the body more. And then once you've got all that length, hold the elbows and reach the elbows away from the trunk. How we doing? Everybody has something they can do in this pose. So Sopo, you would just be flat. And you never let that hamstring, back of the hamstring, buttock connection go. You keep pulling it up to get this more open. So sometimes when you're more flexible, you have to do a little bit more work to feel the opening. So while I'm flat, I've never let the hamstring buttock connection go. I'm pulling that up. Hamstring buttock connection pulls up. And what that does is it keeps my knees down. Keep shooting that quadricep flesh forward towards your knees. And the other thing people like Sopal and I have to watch out for are these front floating ribs. They shouldn't poke up. They should stay down. Down. And that comes from that lengthening of the lower back
towards that buttock crease and that lift of the back of the thighs and the buttock crease. Change the elbow crossing if you've managed that version. Okay, inhale and come up when you're ready. Have 2 bricks and a blanket. Put 1 brick tall at the wall. This is Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. This is not actually required, but it is required for my neck. And it just makes my pose so much happier. So just watch how I get into it there. I've got my brick ready. It's going to be on the tall, wide way across the sacrum. So I've got my feet already where I want them. That's the easiest part of this pose. You can go ahead and have your feet elevated on the blocks. Then I take a hold of my sticky mat and tuck and roll those shoulder blades under. And then I lift up and place the brick. May take you a few tries, like it just did me, to know where the blanket and the brick go. You can still hold on to the edges of your sticky mat and tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Hamstring to buttock connection firm, plugged in, I like to call it. That back of the buttock crease is pulled up towards the back of the thigh, and vice versa. Neck is nice and long. I've got the shoulders and all of my neck vertebra on the blanket. Well, maybe not C1. Okay, then when you feel like you're there, you can stay, then you can just let the arms go, turn out, keep working on the legs, wrap these outer thighs towards the hip sockets. I'm going to come up to see you instead of blissing out in my Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Legs are straight. Nice. Are you got straight legs, Laura? Were you able to straighten? Yeah, wherever they need to be. If they can't straighten the height of the brick, then you can bring them up higher. That's a little high, but if that's all you can do, then you're just working on it. Feel that broadness across your chest, the back of the sternum, if the sternum had a back to it,
It does, but we're never really aren't aware of it in our own bodies that much. But the back of the sternum moving to the front of the sternum. All right, because it was such an easy class. So you bend your knees and you keep the brick that's on your sacrum for just a moment. Bend your knees, put your feet flat on the floor. Okay, entwine your hands. Interlace your hands underneath you, You're still up on the brick. Yeah, go beyond your brick. Okay, now press the bottom edge of your hands, arms firmly down into the floor and come off your brick. Your hands go beyond the brick, Mike. Hands go towards the foot side. Yes, there you go. If you can only hold a few fingers, that's fine. But now straighten those arms and now move your shoulder blades up and in. Bring your chest closer to your chin and lift up off your brick. Don't let your head move away though. The chest, the back of your chest is coming towards the front of the chest. The chest is coming towards the chin. Don't jam your chin towards your chest. Let the chest open up towards your chin and lift up as high as you can off that brick. Stay for a couple breaths and then slowly come down. All right. So Karen Carpenter, do you do chair shoulder stand at all?
No, I usually
No,
just
okay.
legs up the wall, or I put 4 blankets and then bring my legs up and have it bend in my knee.
Okay.
So my legs, do you
yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
I do.
My hips are up, my knees are bent, and I can do that.
All right, so you do that, and the rest of us are gonna try chair shoulder stand. So I've got my chair a little bit away from the wall. I'm gonna keep that blanket there. I'm gonna fold my sticky mat in half and put it right at the chair's edge. And this is where my shoulders are going. Okay, when I first started Iyengar yoga, I can honestly tell you, I despised this pose. And I think it was because my chest wasn't open enough, but now I absolutely love this pose. So watch. I could even go a little closer to the wall. You have to be careful because it's nice to have the feet on the wall, but if you're too close, it's hard, it's awkward. So watch. How you know if it's going to be awkward or not is if you can get your feet like this close to the wall. This is about it for me. Okay, then I scoot in, put my feet on the wall, and then I keep that. So right now, my bottom of my shoulder blades are on the edge of the chair, and I'm going to keep that opening I've got, coil the spine in, reach, see how my shins are holding me on the chair. Then one by one, reach the arms through. And then here, I'm close enough to the wall that I have a nice extension. I have a great Jalandhara Bandha, chin lock, working on that thyroid and working on the parathyroid. Thyroid, controls our metabolism. Parathyroid controls how the bones are, the calcium is distributed in your body and how it helps your bones. So that's why we want to do that Jalandhara Bandha, for our metabolism and for our bones. So I am pulling the tailbone, tucking the tailbone up and in, but I'm also extending and reaching the legs up the wall. I hold dearly onto those bottom chair legs and curl those cut those shoulder blades into the body more. I still have that idea that, you know, I'm extending the legs away from the trunk. Nice opening across the pelvis. Okay, now if you want to, you can do the little Viparita Krani, where you've got a little shelf there for your sacrum, and you bring the legs up for Viparita Krani. Because the first way is a lot of work in that buttock hamstring connection and the extension of the inner leg. So you've been working there a couple minutes, and you deserve that Viparita Krani break. Keep those outer shoulder bones pressing down towards your bolster, and move the shoulder blades deeper into you. Not paying attention when you work on that opening of the chest. As I just found out, the legs want to swing forward. Don't allow that. Okay, now to come out, you have two choices. This is my favorite way to come out. I'll bring the feet to the top of the chair bar. I'm just going to get rid of that blanket. I don't need it anymore. Then I reach the legs through the chair, scoot a little bit more, take my arms out, scoot a little bit more towards the bolster side with my shoulders, and I let both legs kind of rest towards the floor like that. This is sort of a restorative Chatuspadasana. So my knees are bent, my toes are just barely touching the floor. The legs are sort of hanging. I'm letting gravity do the work and this opening across the front of the pelvis. Okay, then hold on to or just push your chair seat away from you just a little bit, and then scoot down until your buttocks touch the bolster and your legs can be relaxed. Wait there a few breaths. So your shoulders, head and neck on the floor at the same level, and your buttocks are up on the bolster. Okay, then scoot a little bit more, and your buttocks are flat, and you can keep your calves on the chair. Let the thighs roll out. Just a brief shavasana here with the calves up on the chair. Arms out to the side. Let go, let go. See that your breath comes back to a normal state. And now roll to the Right side. Fold in the limbs one by one and slowly come up. So, the bolster is not a bad height, and it's here. If it's too much, then you know who you are and you can use a couple of folded blankets, but it's here. So I'm just going to put that there. Here's the important part. It's going to be for my head. When I lie down for a little bit of pranayama, I'm not going to have the low back really close to this bolster. The floating ribs are what's going to hit the edge of this bolster. So more or less, this is freer and flatter, not arched. Does that make sense? I'll do it the right way, and then I'll show you the wrong way. How's that? So the right way, my knees are bent. I reach, I'm a good 6 inches away from the bolster. And I reach up and over, and I see that my floating ribs are on the edge of the bolster. Okay, then I find my head blanket. Then I use my hands to reach the low back sacrum area, well away from these floating ribs. So really what is mostly elevated is my top chest. Make sure the head blanket is under your neck as well. Look down at yourself and make sure you're even in a straight line, and there's quite a bit of space between the two legs, a little wider than your hips perhaps. Take your arms out to the side. So we're just going to practice a little. Oh, I said I was going to show it wrong. So wrong for today's purposes, not wrong for other purposes, but this would be, a different way of doing it. And you see how this area is quite a bit arched. So we don't want that for pranayama. We want a nice long torso. All right. So you're getting comfortable. Your low back is nice and long. If it's painful, Laura, you could put some height underneath the back of your thighs. That's fine. If your low back is paining you, and that's why you had your knees bent, you could put some height underneath the back of your thighs. Anybody can do that. Anybody is welcome to do that. But if you're, and another thing that is like for Kathy, I know she has some lower back problems, so the bolster may not be right for her. She might be better off taking the 2 blankets. All right, so first you just have to come to a restful, peaceful, quiet state with the physical body. And the idea is that the mind eventually follows. Let everything rest. Yeah, if you have an eye covering, you're welcome to use an eye covering. Mike, watch that your head's not going backwards. Your head, yeah. Tilt your forehead slightly more towards your chin. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let everything go. Any muscular effort whatsoever. Let go, let the body feel heavy and heavy and heavier yet still until it feels light. Okay, now start paying attention to your breath. I'm not asking you to change anything, but just notice it. Natural, normal inhalation, normal exhalation. Pay careful attention to all the muscles in your face, across your forehead, your jawline. Let all those muscles be soft. Your throat.
And just notice the quality of your breath. Okay, so if this is normal breathing, all Ujjayi 4 is a nice elongated inhalation. And by that elongation, it's relative, it's subjective, it's yours, it's no one else's. So even, you know, I could walk you through it, talk you through it, but in reality, your breath is your breath. It's going to go on for as long as it can without strain, without any tension. And then you take a long, slow Ujjayi exhalation. And that's as simple as Ujjayi 4 is. So after your next normal exhalation, begin your long, slow Ujjayi inhalations. And here's how I'd like for you to time it. I'd like for you to do 5. And you know, you have 5 fingers on one hand. So if your palms are open, when you've taken one breath, you fold your thumb in. After the second exhalation, you fold your index finger in, and so on. And you get the idea. That way you do not lose your concentration. You do not lose focus. I did this at the very beginning of my pranayama career, which is definitely still ongoing and still at an infant stage, but it really helped me stay focused. Now, I didn't say this, but you know probably already, you can take a normal inhalation and normal exhalation in between your long Ujjayi inhales and exhales. Perfectly acceptable. Those of you who've been practicing for a while, you might find that you like linking them. The breath should rise from the very bottom of the diaphragm and lift up towards the face. On the exhalation, it releases from the face towards the bottom of the diaphragm. Slow, soft Ujjayi inhalations, slow, soft Ujjayi exhalations. Okay, when you've completed those 5, you can just make sure that hand is relaxed completely. And just breathe normally. Okay, those of you who are up on the bolsters with minimal physical effort, just roll a little bit to the side and get rid of your bolster and lie flat. If you're just up on a couple of blankets, you might want to just stay there, totally up to you, but lie flat and just get the idea that your back is got that support, that earth element is there for you. And then just continue on with just another minute of Shavasana. Shavasana being a more supreme level of consciousness as opposed to, you know, zoning out somewhere. You're still with your mind, you're still with your body, you're still with your breath. And it's
absolutely okay, to contemplate. What is your motivation for practice? When we believe in something and we believe in its powers to heal, its powers to transform us, we have to have this faith. Otherwise, why go on, right? If yoga is something that truly inspires you, that you've given so much time and effort and devotion to your yoga practice, then you might believe that it gives you this, I'm speaking for myself, renewed health, restored self-confidence, self-empowerment, a restoration of inner harmony. I'll leave you with a fabulous Gita quote. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible or standing on your head is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you once were stuck, to unveil layers of protection that you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body, and to become aware of your mind and the noise it creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love you. Okay. If you need to, some of you look like you might need to, bend both knees up into the chest and just quietly take both knees over to the right. Don't let your left shoulder come up. And then back to the center and up, and then both knees to the left. Right shoulder down. You can sort of tuck a little bit more and scoot your left shoulder blade under you more to get that right shoulder to come back down. And you can also use your opposite hand on that top knee. And that should feel good. Okay, and why do we come up from the right side? So back over to your right side, left hand on the floor, and then the right. And sit up straight and tall. We come up from the right side because the ventricles of the heart are here on the left. And when you've been lying down for quite some time, as you were also for the pranayama, you want to give space on the left side for the heart to say, okay, I got to start pumping to other parts of the body. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Think about your motivation for being on your mat today. Have faith in the practice. Namaste.